And I know that there's an attempt, efforts in crafting a policy. But this ought to have happened well before now. So let us ensure that we have a national sports policy that will give us the direction, the policy direction for what we do in sports. But within that context, there are a number of things that we have to start interrogating. One is about incubation, if we take the case of football, for example. Those of us who have been involved in sports administration for many years, although many of you may not even be aware of this, for many years, we know that coach football academies and incubation is the basis for developing a critical mass of talent that will feed into our senior teams and even improving our domestic league. But what is the state of juvenile and coach football in our country now? What has been the policy? What has been government's own direction and input into the development of juvenile and coach? All the great names that we celebrate now, they were not born in England or in the United States or elsewhere. They were all thoroughbred local talents. They all came through this incubation. And I think it's something that we need to look at critically. The technical competence of the handlers, those who manage football administration in Ghana. There's always a raging debate about whether we need technical personnel from outside our country or local. I don't want to make a policy decision on this, but be that as it may, it is also very clear that unless we start developing local technical talent, it's going to be very difficult for us to have that capacity to support our playing body. Even from coach and juvenile football, you still need competent technical personnel to guide us right through our senior team. We are restricting this only to football, but it goes beyond football. It cuts across all sports disciplines. So our technical team and how we develop that talent is also very important. Then sports infrastructure. That is absolutely critical. If you go to the powerhouses of sports globally and you look at their infrastructure, I would say that even we've done very well with the kind of infrastructure that we have to have been able to compete at the international level. So we have to look at how we invest in infrastructure. And it's not a question of government alone investing in infrastructure. It's about how government incentivizes the private sector to support the development of sports infrastructure. We need to look at that. We also need to look at football administration, political interference, the interference by management and administration. We hear all these horror stories about players being selected not by the technical team but by powers that be. We can't be a serious football nation if we continue to have this kind of challenge. I'm opening up these matters only because I feel that the great nations of this world are also the most developed in terms of sports. And it's clear, you can start from the most powerful economies right down. All of them are also major sports nations. So there must be something about sports that will drive economic development. But we have to start talking. We have to start talking seriously about how we manage sports in this country.